Thank you for coming today. For those who doesn't know me anymore, or I haven't had the time or chance to talk with you, I'm Paulina. I'm a pivotal product designer from Chicago, and one of
Can you turn that on? I mean, it'll be easier for you. Yep, there you go. If you want to hold them.
hello. Oh, perfect. Okay. So the topic for today is I want to talk to you about one of my passions in life, which is photography. But this is more like a type of conversational talk. I want to talk to you about my process, what inspires me, and how I became the photographer who I am today. So I hope this talk you look for this talk as an inspirational conversation, and it will give you a lot of positive things. That's my expectation for today. So having said that, we can start. Oh, the title is Through the Lens of a Photographer, but it's a story about curiosity, inspiration, embarrassment, and passion. That's how I kind of break down my photography story. So, chapter one, it's all about curiosity. So, how everything has started. Basically, I I had the chance to uh, born inside a family of artists, musicians, and basically everyone in my family has some relation with art and photography or paint or drawing. So I was blessed with that. So my dad used to be a photographer, and he is responsible of this picture, which is basically my first picture in my life. And as you can see, I'm very curious about everything. I was looking directly to the camera, kind of exploring, kind of thinking like, who's that guy behind that shiny big thing, right? Well, that guy was my dad. And yeah, and thanks to him, I think I got the foundation and all the basics around photography I know today. And, um, and that's my mom and my sister on the other side. Um, and I was always being around him when we were playing with the camera, when we were playing around, just having new concepts or new ideas that he might come up with. I was willing to go with him and let's just try it. He probably asked me, hey, can you stand here and holding like this, like in an Egyptian kind of shape? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I basically I was there all the time. So these are some examples of the family portraits that he took. That's me. I think I was like 1 year old or something like that. That's my mom, my sister, and I. And this one. um, this is kind of embarrassing, but I don't care. That's part of my life, basically. And that's part of my story. And these pictures, what I think they have in common, it's such a great power because they had a meaning, they have a background, they have a context, and most important of all, they made me go back in the past and revisit these memories and these moments about why I was having that weird thing on the top of my head, and why I was wearing that weird dress, right? Things like that. So that makes me smile automatically. So, as I told before, I was always curious about the artistic part and art in all its expressions. I was always holding a notebook and drawing and sketching things. It doesn't matter what was But I had like very interesting concepts about my drawings. So these are just one example. And I was always like, let's play with this face and maybe we'll have things like that. I don't know, I was just like playing around with that. So that's another example of what I was able to do at a very short age, which was very impressive according to my mom, because I was like, I was the kid in the school who, when you were just supposed to bring like a family portrait of in drawing by hand of your family, you know, the circles and lines and that, I was able to present something like this. So that was super, that was interesting. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, going back to the photography world about my dad, I was just fascinated about his process, his passion, the way he took a place and take it and transform it in anything, whatever he might think about it. So I was willing to follow in his step. So I got my official first camera was this little guy here, which is a Sony Ericsson W600, I guess, which the fabulous screen resolution of 220 by 176 pixels. So I was feeling super, super powerful because I was able to hold a phone and a camera at the same time. So that was super awesome. And at that time, of course, and believe it or not, this was like what I think it was the first picture I took with that phone, and I was feeling flawless. I was feeling like I was so proud. I felt like I was the little rock and roll star in terms of photography, being able to have this type of images. But I was about to discover another different world, right? So I think it was a Christmas present. I don't remember exactly the year. But I got another camera from my dad. It was a Sony. I don't remember exactly the model. But of course, the resolution was better than that Sony Ericsson phone. And I was able to explore more things and have better images about the world in front of me, like these flowers. And then I was jumping into the more artistic concepts, like, yeah, let's create art with photography, but how? I mean, for me, that was art, and I was probably like 14 years old, but that was art, like, yeah, different housekeeping tools, and like, yeah, this creates something interesting. But honestly, it didn't. So I was able to explore with my little hamster as well. I was taking pictures of every single thing in front of me. But this wasn't like the real artistic side I wanted to accomplish. So then I was exploring more concepts about how to create art in a photography. So by that time I was like, art, maybe anyone? And the answer obviously was like crickets. So then I have like epiphany. Like I was revisiting all my dad's picture, and I was like able to see it. Like, yeah, I know that I got it. I think it's a person, because in my dad's pictures there is always a person. There is always something, like a feeling, like an emotion, a human being there. So I was like, yeah, I think I got it. And I started experimenting with my own family, specifically my sister here. So she's gonna kill me. But yeah, it didn't get me exactly what I wanted to be. But I think it was like, yeah, I mean, she looks good because she was working out, and she was willing to be my model and that. So yeah, I got everything what I needed, but it didn't go very, very, very well. Like, yeah, sorry sis, I disappoint you. So, um, but anyway, by that time, I was super frustrated and very sad because that was the feeling and emotion I was getting from other people when I was showing my work, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, I know I suck, but you don't have to do like that, right? So then I just had this question in my head, like, why should I do why my pictures are not really, really, really well? So what else is missing? I got the person, I got the camera, I got the location, everything. But then I was like, just having like a step back and see, well, I think it's a good time to see what's happening in the world, what other people with the same dreams, with the same hobbies were doing in a professional way. So I just got inspiration. I just went out to the world and see through magazines, through encyclopedias at that time, pictures about every single thing. And I found three people that were really my source of inspiration and kind of where my concept was created. And the first of this group was Annie Leibovitz. I don't know if you know her. She's an American photographer. She loves coffee, of course. That's a must as well. And she has interesting quotes as well, it's an inspiration at this time for me as well. One of the things is like, a thing that you see in my picture is that I was not afraid to fall in love with these people. And the next one says, when I say I want to photograph someone, what it really means is that I like to know them. Anyone I know, I photograph. So what basically translates out from this quote is like, she was trying to create a connection with people. So I was really inspired by that. And these are some of the examples of her work. Of course, I think you know this one from the Rolling Stone magazines, John Lennon and Yoko Ono. This is Woody Allen as well, the Queen Elizabeth, Ellen DeGeneres. And my personal favorite series of her, it is the Disney Princess. This is Scarlett Johansson, I guess, yeah, as a Cinderella. And it was a big campaign from Disney, and she was paid a lot of money to create these pictures for the new campaign to the new facilities in Disney World. So this is Queen Latifah, I think impersonating the evil queen with the mermaid, Little Mermaid. And what I found about these pictures, I was really, really, really curious about how can she go in the middle of the sea and create this like a scenery image, like very, very dramatic image. It's like not possible, and she's flawless. I mean, she has the makeup, she has the hair, she has all these props. So how? So I was researching and found her secret. She was doing a lot of photo manipulation and a lot of playing with lights and everything so she can create the concept. So that's an example of how this picture was taken. This is another one. And as you can see in this setup, everything is basically fake fake in a sense of creating the shape of the body with the horse, having the proper lighting in there, everything. And then after the post-processing work, she was able to deliver this image. So I was like, yeah, I want to be her when I grow up. So anyway, she's the first one. She's always an inspiration for me. She's super cool. She's 60 years old now, I guess. And she's always creating art in this type of sense. Most of the people think like she is more like a commercial photographer. Well, yeah, I mean, when you create things like this, you get paid a lot. So I think it's a very good concept, but out of the commercial part, it's art. So this is my second hero in terms of art. Salvador Dali, that's his real name, which it's, as you can see, is super, super long name. He was a Spanish artist, was very surrealist, from the surrealism movement. And I like some quotes about him. The first one, have no fear of perfection, you'll never reach it. Intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings. And those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing. So what I grabbed from these quotes is like, you have to crack the shell and go out there and explore new things and don't care about what other people are saying about your work. You have to incorporate things from other artists and create new concepts out of them. But the bottom line is you need to do something, you need to move. So he's famous because of this. I know that you have seen this before, the clocks, the elephants as well with long legs. And he was very, very a narcissist. He was always wanting to be part in his portraits works, surrealistic type of works, but he was always being part of that. This is another piece of surrealism with photography. I think the name of this photography is Atomic Dali, which is very narcissist. But he was always creating like unique concepts, and he wasn't afraid of trying new things. And he was the weirdest artist in that era, which for me it's very respectful, because when you know that that you want to achieve something unique, you have to go for it. And he was nailing it. And the third one, it's a more like modern one, but I wanna mention her because she's my friend, Marta Bebacqua. She's an Italian photographer in Paris. She's only 27 years old, so she's super young. And she was my friend when we were I was 10 years and she was only 6, I guess. But we connected each other with art and all kind of related to art activities related with art. So the funny story about her is she's super shy. She doesn't like to talk with people, but when she is behind the camera, it's like another person, a completely different person. And she goes and do like a contortionist will do when she's taking her pictures and trying to find the best angle for her models. But she's super shy and she doesn't open up really, really well. And she is very, she tried to create unique concepts, as you can see, but in a very elegant and dramatic way. Like, for instance, this one as well. And this one. And this one. So at a very young age, she's able to deliver to the world this type of images, which for me is very inspirational. So those are my 3 heroes in the artistic world. So, in summary, what the feature about this people, it's and in terms of my concept, I took the human connection from Annie Leibovitz, the surrealism part of Salvador Dali, and the elegance of Marta Bebacqua, and created something better than this to something I call like free spirit natural style, which is based, all these styles are based in the storytelling. So what happened next, it's the embarrassment part. I was feeling like I understood everything I could to create my style, my concept in the artistic world. So I went out and tried different things. Like, yeah, I can see, I see myself like being like Salvador Dali, and being in all my portraits and that. Yeah, I can do that. But that didn't go really well. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing right now here. And then I was trying again with my sister. And the concept of this picture was like, okay, Alicia, imagine that you're being chased by a bunch of teddy bears, but they want to attack you, and just picture that. And my sister was like, okay. And she's the best that she could do. So, okay, I'll stop with you. And this one, like, the title was Dreamy Location. I was like, yeah, dreamy, because of course, maybe in the morning, this is the first place that you see when you are waking up, right? So I don't know what was naming this picture like this. And of course, the composition, the light, and the concept, and most of all, the storytelling part. I think you cannot see any of those things in these pictures, right? So I gave up. I stopped for a while, figuring out what was wrong with me. And I had these three questions in my head. Like, do I need a fancy and expensive camera? Do I need a better and prettier models? Cough, cough, not my sister anymore. Do I need a better location? Maybe. And I didn't have the answer for these questions. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Just forget about it for a while. I was good in something else, though. The art creation, in terms of photo manipulation thing, and the dreaming part. I was always having dreams about very, very, very surreal and weird stuff. Like, for instance, this one. This is, I was playing with my face, and I was dreaming about like losing my face because I was being a cyborg or something like that. So I created this image. And then I was playing with this because of the global warming topic around the world was starting to pop up. So I was like, yeah, something really fun is like some giant pollution monster will be helping the world and in this manner, right? So I was like, yeah, I dream about that. Or maybe this one. I don't exactly remember what was I dreaming when I created this one, but I did it. Or this one. And more from the Dali part. I was dreaming, I think I remember this one. Instead of seeing like clouds there, it was ice cream. So I was in heaven. But I tried to give like something more like artistic, like, clouds instead of ice cream. So ice cream again. And the different things playing with my face, of course. Or this one. Or this one as well. And another example. And another dream. I was dreaming that I was about to be eaten by this monster kind of character here, or this one, when I dreamt that the moon was falling to the water, but this giant octopus was rescuing all of us. So, right? So, I don't know. I was feeling great because I was being able to express in a graphic way my dreams, and I was really good using the tools like Photoshop or my own camera. Most of these pictures were taken by my old camera. The other ones I just took them from the internet, and I was really good. I was feeling really good at it, and people just start saying things, and this art creation process made me understand different things and core things about photography, like composition. You have to place your subjects and place the things that you want the other people take into account and focus on that character. The lighting as well, because these images were super surrealist. The natural lighting type of setting was able to deliver like, yeah, this giant octopus could happen because the light of the sun comes this way, so it's highlighting this part of the octopus. So you could feel like it was kind of real in a very surreal world, right? And color grading and mood, you have to put that in your photographies as well if you want to express something. And the context. You have to have a context for every single shot. So I was able, when I was in college, in 2003, I guess, I was able to afford my first camera, my Canon semi-professional camera, and it was awesome. I was feeling like I have the best camera in the world, and you could tell because of the quality of the images improved a lot. So I was convincing myself, like, yeah, I think it's the camera. It's not the photographer. It's the camera. Totally. So I gave it a shot. And I was just keep practicing and keep taking pictures and self-portraits of myself, playing with the light, playing with the location. Here's an example of a lighting setup. I was in the bathroom in this one. So yeah, but there was a good lighting there, so I wanna try that. And in this one as well, like emotions and expressions, like yeah, I think I got this. Like the mood and the context. I was feeling really sad in this one because I think I was moving from Mexico at that time. So it was like, yeah, okay, I think I'll get over it eventually. Or this other one. And then I just started playing with more things, like in this one, like with my dog, like having different ideas and expressions and subjects helped me to understand how the light was affecting these subjects, right? And then I was able to have more and more interesting shots like this one. And the photo manipulation part was part of each one of these pictures, like this one or this one. Of course, this one as well. And I was here with one of my heroes, Dolly, so it was like, oh yeah, I can do this. So yeah, different concepts, imaginary scenarios, and very dreamy concepts. I was really happy because I was able to be part of those dreams, right? And of course, I was able to put myself in very different situations and very, I don't know, things like that I really enjoyed a lot. This is a good example of one of the best works I did. Actually, someone paid me for this picture because they used it for a campaign, a marketing campaign about a local sporting clothes. So I was like, yeah, I can have like extra bucks for that. So I became to have this reputation, like people were saying, like, if you can dream it, Paulina can create it. And that was true, actually. That was really true. And one of the example, I want to take this picture and explain my process around it, so you have a better idea what I do. So this is just a picture, the background of the tree. This is me posing for the shot. And I think in this one, I put some leaves there. And then I put myself into the shot. And then I was playing with the color because I was too bright in this one. So I played with the color in there. And then I add more elements to the shot, the leaves, more like flying leaves, more dramatic effect, more leaves. And I think you could see my fake hair. In this one, no. Then I had hair. Then the lighting and the mood of the foggy, kind of like lost in the woods type of environment. And then the lighting, I have a lens glare flare there. That was really important. So like being more, more realistic. And then the color editing. And that was how I put this one together. And someone from my, some friend told me like, hey, can I use this for my local shop? And I was like, yeah, but you have to pay me, right? Yeah, I'm gonna pay you. So that was how it started basically. So at that time I was thinking like, yeah, I think I'm ready to explore the photography world again, because now I know different concepts, different ideas, different tools, and I think I'm able to make it happen, to make it work. So the last chapter is what really drives me when I'm creating these things, and when I'm shooting, when I'm photographing people, basically. So everything, it's about happiness, and what makes me happy, it's traveling. It's yoga, of course, ice cream, of course, and coffee. I accept I'm a coffee junkie. There is no secret on that. I love coffee, and that makes me happy. And the other thing, of course, it's meeting new people. For me, that was really like a critical part of my process, because I consider myself as a very introverted person when I don't have the the trust or the confidence to go out and talk with people. But this was part of doing this photography and these pictures. It's meeting new people. You have to talk. You have to connect with them if you want to create something really unique. And that was the secret. So that made me improve my personal skills and connecting with people and talking with people in different ways. So the formula here was like happiness was creating positive energy, which was equals to achievement, which was equals to satisfaction from my perspective. And it all come together into this cycle of when you are satisfied by doing something, you get the same feeling all over again, that you feel happy about achieving something. And I tell to myself a lot of times, like, there's nothing better like the satisfaction after doing a good damn job, which is good, and it applies to every single thing. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be a photographer. You don't have to be an artist. It applies to every single thing in your life, I think. And the other part of my work, it's the quality. I really take care a lot of quality. It tells a lot, and it's not only in photography. It represents you. It's a letter of presentation for you. Like when you can notice when you really care about it, because you spend more time, you spend more dedication and more effort to achieve that, and that looks into your job, into your work. Doesn't matter if you are a writer, you can read something really good if you put some time on it, and it pays back. I guarantee that. So the secret that most of the photographers won't tell is how can I get my Instagram nowadays looking like this. And it's not a secret. I mean, it's everything about doing what you like, talking with people, connecting with people. You create a network in there. They connect with other people, and that is how the process is, basically. And you, obviously, you have to do your homework. You have to do your part on taking care about the models, about the pictures in your portfolio. That's really, really important. Yeah, and the other secret, another photographer wouldn't tell, it's like in every single photography that you look into magazines or in whatever commercial stuff, every single shot, it has a post-production phase like this. These are my own pictures, and I don't mind that you see how they look out of the camera and the final version, because that's true. That's the time I spent working on this product. And how the quality of your work is defined. So this is the raw file, and this is after editing. And I really pay attention of what my models want. What is the mood? What is the concept? What are you trying to achieve and to tell with the photographs in here? In this case, this girl, she was trying to create like something really warm, because she was something like for her boyfriend, and she wants something warm, something really calling and appealing, but in a very tender way. So I think the colors match with that expectation in this one. This is another model from Chicago. He was really, she was really worried about being I'm the pretty model with the pretty face and the pretty eyes, so I want something more dramatic, more unique. And we came up with this one, and I think he used this shot to apply for a job, and he got it. So I was like, yeah, we nailed it. Good job. This was here in Boston. I think I was in Chinatown somewhere. And I met this guy through Instagram. His name is Sam. And he was a good guy. He's a good guy. He is very interesting because his story, it's very, very, very interesting. He's studying a PhD in Harvard. I think it's physics or something related with math. But he was just being part of this modeling work. He was very curious about it, and he asked me, like, can I practice my modeling skills with you? And I was like, absolutely, yeah, go for it. So that was the final image. This was in Boston as well. His name is Khalil. He is a rising model. He wants to be like a full-time model in New York. So he wants to create more portfolio for his to showcase to the other agencies in New York. So I help him with that. And this girl, her name is Shreya, and she is from India. And I spent my last Sunday with this girl and my boyfriend having these pictures as well. And she has a similar story. She wants to create a portfolio so she can be noticed by other agencies. So what it's really interesting about these pictures is what I was doing where I was like creating these things. So thanks to my boyfriend, I got these images like backstage, like the things I am willing to do to create these shots, and I don't mind. My sister will be like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know you, like I don't know you," but I don't care. I don't care. I'll do whatever I need to do to create these images and to create and find the best angle for them. Or this one, like, she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you got it, baby, you got it." I was getting it, right? Then I was just thinking about the questions in my past about, do I need a fancy and expensive camera? And do I need a better and prettier models? Do I need a better location? The answer is no. I mean, you can have, of course, if you want to be a professional photographer, you have to have the gear, the proper gear to achieve more quality shots, right? But that doesn't stop you to create new things and concepts with people. The prettier models, absolutely not. I guess everyone has something special, and you can see that when you see the pictures, when they are expressing the feelings and the emotions that you are capturing in that. And a better location, I don't think so. I mean, we can have a Photoshop in here and find different things, which it's a challenge. Of course, it's a challenge. But that is what's define you as a better or a bad, a good or a bad photographer. So, wrapping up a little bit here, my personal recommendations for people who is very into photography, it's basically, this is the summary. The light is very important. It's your best friend. And most of you might not know, but the best day to have a photo shoot is it's an overcast day, because the shadows and the lights are super soft, and that creates a better tone for the skin if you are working with people. So that's a good thing. Oops, sorry. The composition, of course, you have to look for lines and look for textures in the shot, or the way the model or the person is standing at is super important, and the context, the background behind them, that's as well super important. So again, no, sorry. You have to go out there and become explorer. Most of these shots, it's because I was being around Boston and had the time to explore new locations and new things that created a concept in my head, and I just found these amazing people and said, like, yeah, let's give it a shot and try these locations. I mean, they don't have like anything particular super special, but they have something I really want to try. So go out there and try these locations. Get out of your comfort zone. That was super important for me because of the introverted type of person I consider I am sometimes. So obviously you have to communicate with the model. If you want the model to be sit or stand or whatever you have to achieve, you just have to tell them, you have to communicate. But most important part is you have to create a connection with them, to meet expectations, to know a little bit about their story, because they have really good stories. Everyone has a good story, and people want to tell stories all the time. So go out. I don't know specifically each one of you, it's the challenge that you are dealing with, that comfort zone that doesn't let you out in your full 100% best version of you. You have to go there. Always take care of your models. There was a time when I was shooting, I think it was in France. I was totally pumped up and feeling super great. Oh, I'm in France and in Paris and the city of love and the fashion and everything. But it was super cold and it was super, it was a rainy day. So we went out with models and they were freezing out because I didn't bring a coat or any type of thing, like make them feel comfortable. So you can see in the pictures that they are making very hard expressions in their face, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die in here. I hope she just finished this photo shoot because I just can't handle it. So piece of advice, take care of your models, please. Empathy and connection, human connection. Again, sometimes a person might be having a bad day, and that's totally fine. We have, as human beings, we have good days and bad days, and the most important part is how we take that and how we respect each other's connections and feelings and emotions. So it's very important for you to know that there are boundaries in there, and that's totally fine. And give others the best version of you. the universe will give you more in return. That's true. When you are giving the one extra mile out there, you can see, you can notice how people react about that. And it's very amazing. I wasn't a believer when someone told me this, like, what the hell is this energy universe and that? Well, the thing is, it's all inside you. And when you make people happy, you get back in return happiness, like expressing that feeling and making someone really happy because you shoot their baby or a family portrait, and when you see the expression of their face, like, oh my gosh, this picture looks amazing, thank you so much, I'm very glad to meet you, and that type of things, you can feel it, that it feels super good, and you get that in return in another different way, unexpected ways. Believe me, that's true. So, finally, I can say that I achieved my goal of exploring the photography world. Of course, there's always room to learn more about techniques and more new things and new tools that you can use. Of course, there is that. But I feel super comfortable to say, I'm very proud to say that I could follow his steps as the family photographer and become not a model or just the girl carrying the gear for him. It's more like a collaborating thing. So I'm very proud to say that he's very proud of me, and that makes me feel super, super good. It feels good. So now we go out. He doesn't take pictures anymore because, of course, the responsibility is on me now. But he helps me a lot when we go out on vacation and when we are exploring new things and new concepts. And the most intriguing part and the most interesting part is like when we are planning for a new concept or a new thing, I try to explain him like that. I want to be like this and capture the like this and that and that. And he was like, oh yeah, I got it. I know what you are picturing. Yeah, I got it. So he doesn't have, like, we don't have that connection anymore. Sometimes he feels like, oh yeah, you look really, really nice in this picture. We are in Seattle here on vacation, and as you can see, my expression says it all. Like, Dad, what are you doing? Just take the picture. So I was really, really like, it's okay. I mean, and because of these pictures, that makes me laugh and it draws a smile on my face all the time because I can remember that he was there and that was the story behind that picture, right? So going back about the recommendations, my last recommendation is always shoot with your heart. Your heart is the most powerful muscle we have, and you have to listen to it. And I think that's true, and it applies to every single thing in your life. If you're really passionate about anything you do, just go ahead and listen to your heart. It's very amazing how your work, even if you are like a developer or designer here at Pivotal, when you use your heart to create and help other people, like we do here, it feels good. It's a good sensation when you are helping and when you are creating new things, following by passion and your heart. Anything could be really, really, really good. So that's it, pretty much. If you want to follow me, this is my Instagram world. I have 2 accounts, of course. I have the professional account and my personal account. I am always capturing moments in my life. Of course, you will find like 80% of the shots are about coffee, probably. So bear with me on that. But thank you so much for your attention.